To a show dedicated to the naked truth. Joining me and full of naked ambition are tonight's skinny dippers in the buff, Richard Osman. In the all-together, Lee Mack. In her birthday suit, Lolly Adefope. And indescribable, Alan Davis. Let's hear their buzzers. Lolly goes. Richard goes. Lee goes. And Alan goes. To go now, don't you? So, Alan, I'm going to start with you. Are you normal or weird?
I think I'm normal, Sandy. All right, weird.
Feel bad. Yes, you are weird. Anybody here normal?
I would say I'll go weird.
Yes, normal. Do you feel normal, Lolly?
I feel very much at home here. Thank
OK. You must have a strange house, but there we are. What about you, Richard? Normal?
I'm going to go out on a crazy limb and say maybe I'm a little bit weird.
Yes, the fact is nobody is normal. So, say you took an average of every single person here in this room, and we took height and shoe size and collar size and all those things, you won't find anybody who's average in all respects. It just doesn't exist. And it's called the jaggedness principle. And it really matters. So in the 1940s, the US Air Force, they thought, I know what we'll do. We'll design a cockpit that fits absolutely everybody.
The cockpit has yet to be designed.
Yes, that is.
That will fit my proportions.
In what way?
Oh, in a plane.
In a plane.
How embarrassing. I thought you were talking about...
Yes, I tried so hard with you boys. So they took the measurements of over 4,000 pilots and they designed this cockpit seat based on these 10 different body measurements, and it didn't fit a single pilot because there isn't any such thing as normal, and in the end they had to develop the adjustable seat for aeroplanes because of the jaggedness principle. So trying to find an average person is unbelievably difficult. The Australian Bureau of Statistics used the national census to try and find an average Australian. So here's what they announced. She was a 37-year-old woman. She had a son and daughter. He was 6 and she was 9. The woman is 5'4" and 11 stone. She's got a 3-bedroom house with about £200,000 left on the mortgage. Her family came originally from the UK. That is the average Australian. And then they couldn't find a single person in the entire country who matched it.
I think it's me.
Well, are you 5'4"?
Yeah.
Are you Australian? We were so close.
Who knows?
OK, try this one, all right? So this is a 2014 dating site. They surveyed 2,000 London men. So the ideal London woman, here's what she looks like. 5'6".
5'4".
5'4", OK. 9 stone, 34C bust, drinks white wine, has no tattoos and supports Tottenham.
No wonder she's single.
Yeah, well... I've got more on her. I've got more. Brown hair. Brown hair. She drove an Audi TT. She was either a nurse or a teacher. She liked roast dinners. She had an exotic foreign accent. She loved Dirty Dancing, the movie, and the top television show was Friends.
Oh, she sounds like an idiot.
She does.
That's what a man's really looking for in a woman, somebody who likes Dirty Dancing. It's so rare to find.
I know.
I don't think I have any of those qualities.
Brown hair.
It's kind of black.
OK. So, if you're not normal, you could be weird. In fact, we are all at the table weird. It stands for Western, educated from industrialised, rich, democratic countries. So why might that be a problem? That be
The
an
problem is
issue?
because they're missing the C off the end of weird. Yeah, countries.
Oh,
So the
I see.
accent works pretty
It doesn't
well.
really scan, though, does it?
No.
Yeah.
Weird.
So the problem is that whenever we do sociological research or psychological research, 96% of the people who participate in these kind of studies, they're usually students, are weird, even though that only represents 12% of the world's population.
Surely normal could be an acronym for something.
Yes.
Yes,
couldn't it?
what could it be?
It ends in Arsenal loving. I know that. I'm just trying to...
Yeah, and the C's for something else, though.
Nordic... Anyway, none of us is normal, but we might just be weird. Now, let's look at some naked apes. What did the Neanderthal take with him when he went clubbing?
Are you meaning a club to club things with? Over the years, I thought I'd get better at this.
We've all been hoping, Alan.
Given that Alan got a klaxon for saying
Yes.
clubs, I'm guessing he didn't use clubs.
Very
Or she.
good.
Yes.
No, he or
You
she
see?
did not
That's
use...
how to do it.
They lived above the tree line. They lived in a desert. There weren't any trees. Otherwise, you'd use a branch.
No, but they had spears and arrows, which had presumably got wooden shafts.
They couldn't get near enough to club anything. It was too dangerous.
For all we know, they didn't have clubs. I mean, the main thing about it is that we've never, ever seen anything shaped remotely like a club. No artefact anywhere.
I base all my knowledge of
Yeah.
Neanderthal men from the wacky races. I base that.
The Flintstones, obviously, which is incredibly accurate. All those people living with the dinosaurs.
Running in the cars.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, we've got wacky racists, we've got Flintstones, and you've got Captain Caveman, so that's 3 separate bits of evidence
Yes.
that suggest they did have clubs.
Yeah,
Unless they're all making it up.
yeah.
So they didn't take clubs, but they took cameras.
Yes. That's one of the earliest photographs.
That's incredible.
Ever. A
They couldn't say
daguerreotype.
cheese then, because they didn't have cheese
Cheese?
for the photograph.
Oh, I
You know what they said?
see. Bison's quite good. Bison.
To be fair, you are just saying bison and then smiling. Bison.
Yeah. I also
You could say anything, couldn't you? Stick
but-
a rock.
But we've never, ever... There's never been a painting, there's never been an artefact. I mean, to be fair, most wooden artefacts will rot. So you get paintings of spears and you get spear heads that you find, but you don't actually get the wooden...
You don't get the wooden pole, right? So
Yeah.
they might have had clubs that have rotted away. I understand that you don't want to go too near an animal with a club, but if
Yeah.
you're fighting neighbouring tribes...
Probably you would just pick up a stick.
But a stick is a club
Well, it's not shaped like a club,
Yeah.
that's the point.
When
It's-
is a club a stick?
Yeah.
when you cover it in chocolate.
I'm sorry, Lolly, I
No, I'm
apologise.
really learning a lot.
You're learning, that's good. Because I feel like knowledge is draining from me as I speak. Now a question about the bare necessities of life, such as shelter. So who lived here?
Not
Massive.
bats.
Massive?
No, I said massive.
OK, and what did you say?
And I said not bats.
Not bats, OK.
So between us, the answer is massive, not
Massive
bats.
Yeah.
It's a typical type of not bat, the massive not bat.
Yeah. We could go through a long list of things that didn't live there. I can tell you they're in Brazil.
Oh, Brazilians.
Is not correct. They sometimes went as deep as 70 feet. They had multiple chambers.
Is it some sort of massive animal?
Yes.
Is it termites?
No, that would be huge, wouldn't it? That would be an army of termites.
Yeah, like a load of termites
Yeah.
going, go! And they're making a massive tunnel.
I love that. Little tiny hard
And
hats
then they-
running.
They build it like a little cart,
Yeah.
and then they all ride down it together.
Oh, this is- Suddenly my answer not anywhere near as interesting, if I'm honest.
Is it a burrowing mammal?
It is. It's a giant ground sloth. They lived from about 2.8 million years ago to about 10,000 years ago, and some of them were as big as an adult elephant. The largest species, the Megatherium, weighed up to 4 tons, and it was 20 foot long from nose to tail. So they still have some living relatives today, which is the tree sloth. The difference in scale, I mean, say imagine me and Richard. To be comparably larger, Richard would need to be about 50 foot tall.
So I'd need to be 3 foot taller than I currently am.
Yes. What's the largest burrowing animal today?
Oh, that'd be the giant not bat.
Badgers are quite big.
Bigger than that?
Wombats, do they go under?
Giant badger.
I like the question, do wombats go under? I don't know.
Is it one bat?
No, it's not a wombat. No.
2 bats.
2 bats. I'm going to go with... Well, it's not bats, OK? It's definitely not bats.
Is it humans?
No, it's the polar bear.
The polar
It's the
bear
polar bear.
burrow?
Yeah, they dig.
Well, hang on, Alan. I don't think humans burrow either. You said humans.
We made the Channel
Well,
Tunnel.
they made the channel.
OK.
Actually, I think you should win that. That's very good. But it's not the largest animal, is it? The polar bear, they dig a maternity den, either in the snow or in the earth, and so they're the largest burrowing animal. Speaking of caves, anybody been to Nottingham?
I've been to Nottingham, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, whoa, so have I, mate. Come on.
I actually went to university really near Nottingham,
Did
so
you?
let's all
This is a
chill out,
small
actually.
world, Alan.
Yeah, I've been there.
No way. Alan's been as well, Sandy.
I made my professional debut at Nottingham Playhouse.
Did you?
I did. But anyway, the city centre was once known as Tigua Kubwak, which means the place of caves. So from as early as the 11th century, people lived in caves in Nottingham. And under the Nottingham Enclosure Act of 1845, it is still illegal to rent out a cave to anybody in Nottingham. They were trying to stop unscrupulous landlords renting them out to the poor. I'd quite like to live in a cave, though. Don't you think it would be fine?
Yeah, that'd be okay.
No.
No? Oh. What's your
Not for me.
reservation?
Wi-Fi.
So, OK.
If you had a good hub.
Yeah.
Right.
On that picture in the right, in the
Yeah.
back, is that a downstairs toilet?
It does look awfully like some kind of font, doesn't it?
Or like a sundial, but no light.
It was the world's worst sundial.
Yeah.
The classic underground sundial. Where do we put the sundial? In the basement.
Yeah. Do you know what the original name for Nottingham is?
Is it Ingham?
It's got Nottingham in it.
No, but it's not just Ingham, and then they said it changed to Nottingham.
No.
Nottinghampton.
Nottingham is the shortened version of its original name.
It's Nottingham.
Exactly right. It's Nottingham.
Nottingham.
It was ruled by a Saxon chief named Snot. And it was literally the homestead of Snot's people. It was Snottingham. And then, I don't know why they dropped the S, because I think it's perfectly charming.
Well, I think
but,
they should put it back.
Yeah. Now, your ancestors could make fire using things that they found. You have something on a tray, and I will give you 20 points to anybody who can start a fire with the things that you have got there.
Can I use my lighter that I've got in my pocket?
Oh, now, look, can't you put that in the lemon? Won't that work?
Supposedly, doesn't it?
Can't you get a charge out of citrus fruit?
You can.
Am I about to?
Not enough to upset yourself, I don't think.
Meanwhile, I'm going to use this to look for a match. What, does it matter if we open that? Would that help?
You don't want to open it, but you can actually use a can of soda in order to
Is that what
start
it
a
is, then?
fire.
Just a can of fizzy pop?
It is a can of fizzy pop, yeah. If you look at the base of your tin, you can see that it is a concave
Yes.
shape. If you polished that, you would be able to reflect enough sunlight in order to be able to make fire. And in fact, we can demonstrate this in the studio, but obviously we're going to need experts. So we have with us our friends from the Festival of the Spoken Nerd, the science comedy phenomenon. They tour all over the UK and have brought one of their experiments from their show. Please welcome Matt, Steve and Helen, the nerds. I was right, wasn't I, that the tin of pop is a kind of...
Yes, it's almost the right shape to focus light in. This is an actual paraboloid, which is the perfect shape. So we can use this to set fire to something...
Oh,
Don't
man.
just pointed
Cross.
at me.
We've got a graphic here of the two dishes we've set up. And if you cut one in half, so we can swivel one around, and if you unpeel it, it's just a parabola. And the amazing thing about a parabola is any line which comes directly down, parallel with the axes, will go through exactly the same spot, the focal point. And the same thing works in reverse. So if something emits from the focal point, it will be sent out as a parallel.
That's how the Death Star works, isn't it?
That's essentially the cleverest thing that's ever been said near you, Lee, isn't it?
We're going to give this a go, but please, can you put your sunglasses on?
Because these are going to protect us, aren't they?
So about 200 years ago, this was a party trick where they'd put a super hot cannonball at one focal point and gunpowder at the other.
We thought we wouldn't try that.
We asked, and apparently we're not allowed because it's no longer the past. But they have let us bring a heat lamp and nitrocellulose, so that's flash cotton.
This will be the past one day, you know.
Not on Dave.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, it's not right in my eyes.
You sort of...
The Mads! Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much. Right, and now a question about naked ambition. Do you know what this man does faster than anyone in the world? It's actually amazing.
Hair growing.
Oh, yeah, hair growing. Because I want to see that.
What's the thing that we talk about? It's always impressive. You go, wow, he's the fastest in the world at that.
Running.
Running, yes.
Running.
He's not faster than Usain Bolt. You're not going to say that.
In a way, he ran the mile faster than the current world flat record.
So, a downhill runner.
He's a downhill runner. He's a British athlete. And when he was a 16-year-old schoolboy, he ran the fastest mile ever. In 1996, the Meltham Maniac Mile. So it's 1 mile down a fantastically steep hill just outside Huddersfield. The course drops 400 feet. It has since been banned, this race, for health and safety reasons. But he completed it in 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
You have to keep running. You
can't
roll.
stop. No, you can't roll. This is the most British race, I think, of all time, because it says that the course started at the Cattle Grid by Tinker Lane.
Did they stop it after a terrible injury or just because something could happen there?
Yeah.
Well, we can find out because Craig Wheeler, fastest man over a mile, is in the audience.
Oh! Can you go to the top of the steps and run down?
So, Craig, why did they stop it?
No idea. Obviously, this day and age, health and safety in
Yeah.
anything.
And they ran it the other way as well, in the opposite direction, didn't they?
Yes.
It was called the Murder Mile.
That's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah. We've got a VT, actually, Craig, of you. I don't know if you can talk us through it, but was there any moment when you were running that you actually thought you were just going to do what Lolly suggested and roll down?
Most of the race, I thought I was just going to go flat on my face.
Right.
Did we actually see him stop then, or does he just carry on?
20 seconds faster than the world record for the flat mile. Was it record breakers that you were doing there, Greg?
Yes. I went back the following year to try and break the record with record breakers, and I fell 2 seconds short, which is still the second fastest time ever.
So you're first and second.
Yes.
There's a proper champion. That was Craig Wheeler, the fastest man ever. Now, what's the best thing anyone's ever done in the nude?
Running downhill.
Running downhill. That.
Oh,
Oh, that would hurt, wouldn't
If
it?
you were a woman, it could take your eye out.
If you're me, you could take your eye out.
So one day you're able to sit as comfortably as you are.
Has someone discovered something? Was Alexander Fleming in the nude when he discovered penicillin?
This is something that's absolutely extraordinary. That was mostly done in the nude. It is, if I'm frank with you, it's for the purposes of this question.
They did it for the purposes of this question.
Well, the answer is for the purposes of this question. It's World War II was won in the nude. So who might have been in the nude winning World War II?
Adolf Hitler.
And on the other side,
Coronation Street.
on the less grumpy side,
Are you talking about our very own Winston?
Winston
Less
Churchill.
grumpy?
I don't think Winston would be called less grumpy.
I thought Hitler was actually quite upbeat, even though he was obviously a terrible guy.
You can say what you like about him. He was always started the day with a smile on his lips. He'd wake people up and go, well, do you know what, this morning I was thinking Poland's lovely.
It looks like he's just thrown a dart, actually. It's like he's got a dartboard at the end of the bath.
That's like your perfect... having a dartboard at the end of your bath.
That would be
Can
great,
you
wouldn't it?
imagine how clean you'd be.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
And then you end up one of those targets in a rifle range where you get them out again and then wind it back.
Is it a boy thing? Can you imagine having a dartboard at the end of your bath?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, love it. Yeah.
Just me, then.
Darts.
You had something to do with dartboards.
It's something that he invented whilst in the bath.
He loved to be naked. In fact, he so often received people while he was in the bath that his ministers and staff officers were nicknamed companions of the bath. And,
Oh, that old chestnut.
That's when he got out.
Sorry, Nigel.
Chief usher at the White House, a man called J.B. West, and he wrote about Churchill. In his room, Mr. Churchill wore no clothes at all most of the time during the day. And there's a story that when Churchill was staying at the White House, President Franklin Roosevelt called on him in his rooms, and Churchill was nude, and Roosevelt said, "I'm very sorry." And Churchill said, "The Prime Minister of Great Britain has nothing to conceal from the President of the United States." And the President later told his secretary that, you know, Grace, he's pink and white all over.
What colour was he expecting, just out of interest?
I think he wasn't expecting to know any colour, is the truth of it. Other famous nudists, Enid Blyton was a famous nudist.
Oh.
Apparently she liked to play naked tennis with her friends.
You didn't write that in any of the books.
No, she didn't. But until 1938, in America, it was illegal for a man to be topless in public, and that included on the beach. And they used to monitor women's bathing suits as well. So in the 1920s, there were special deputy sheriffs sworn in on some beaches in New York. They were all women. They were called sheriffettes. And their job was to measure the distance between the bottom of a woman's swimsuit and her knees. And actually, when I was at boarding school, at the beginning of every year, you had to put your skirt on and then you had to kneel in front of matron, and the top of your the hem had to touch the floor. And if it didn't, you had to go and get a new skirt.
Or a bigger pen.
Bigger pen.
Just get a bigger pen and they can have a shorter skirt. Bigger pen, you see, so it reaches the shorter skirt.
It was pen, Lee.
Pen.
There's the
What if
problem,
they said pen?
No,
I love that Lee has such confidence. He's thinking, there is no way that joke didn't work.
Yeah. There must be a technical error on that, because this is gold, this stuff. Oh, we're hen!
Yeah. Now, while we're in that area, what can't you do to a naked Osman in Kyrgyzstan?
I genuinely turned around there because I thought Alan's head was blocking something else I wanted to do.
I thought you were going to say, I remember that horse then. 2 wonderful weeks with her.
She looks exhausted. OK, so it's not a person, is what I can tell you. A naked Osman.
Kill it, eat it.
You can't eat it anymore, but you used to be able to. It's in the water.
Catch it.
It's a trout-like fish. It used to be the most populous fish in Lake Issyk-Kul in northeast Kyrgyzstan.
And it's called an Osman.
It's called a naked Osman.
Oh, a naked
Why
Osman.
is it called the naked Osman?
It's something to do with the way it looks.
Hey, whoa.
But it's been overfished, so by 1986 it was almost wiped out. There's been a total ban. You'd be very pleased to know you can no longer catch a naked Osman.
That is
in
terrific
Kyrgyzstan.
news. Although if
Yeah.
you do want to catch a naked Osman, no, forget it.
It's a fantastic lake, Lake Issyk-Kul. It is the second largest mountain lake in the world, obviously after Titicaca. And what's extraordinary about it is it's endorheic, and that means it's got no outlets other than evaporation, so it's much deeper now than it was in medieval times. It used to be a fantastically popular stopping route on the Silk Road, and there is, as far as we know, a 2,500-year-old city at the bottom of the lake.
Oh, wow.
And so they found all sorts of archaeological finds around there. All of which brings us to the place that isn't wearing a stitch of general knowledge. It's general ignorance, so fingers on buzzers, please. First of all, how many shades of grey are there?
One.
Is not right.
Is it 49.9?
Unlimited.
No, well,
Limited.
for a very weird moment, I felt like Gypsy Rose Lee. Compelled to take my clothes off. The Pantone colour chart lists 104 shades of grey. There are 71 of white, and there are 110 of naked or nude, i.e. skin-coloured. But that one is really weird, because you can buy nude tights, and you can buy naked shoes, naked sticking plasters, but they all presume that somebody's white. All of those colours.
I used to get that when I used to go. I used to have like a nude lip gloss, and
Yeah.
they'd give me a chalk white lip gloss.
There are 104 shades of grey, which is, well, frankly, plenty. Now, name an extinct animal with teeth like sabres.
No, you're saying... No.
Is it the sword-toothed cat?
Is it the rapier-toothed panther?
Any more for any more?
Is it the saber-toothed tiger?
It that? Why isn't it that?
Because they didn't actually have teeth like sabres.
Because no such animal ever existed.
That's what I said.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
right.
No wonder it's extinct.
There's never been a saber-toothed tiger or a lion. The saber-toothed...
Never been a lion?
Saber-toothed lion.
Oh,
no.
I see. I think you said there'd never been a lion, full stop. I thought,
Yeah, there's
I've
been
just
a
been
lion,
falling
yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
It's a man in a costume at the zoo.
Yeah, it's a lion with the hem of his skirt. No,
Pen? What's he doing with a pen?
There's never been a saber-toothed tiger or a lion. The saber-toothed cats, not closely related to either tigers or lions. In fact, they weren't even cats, strictly speaking. They were kind of stocky and bear-like.
Looks like a sloth.
It does look in the sloth area, doesn't it? And they range in size from a large pet cat to one the size of the horse that you took on your holidays.
When you say took...
Two-way thing.
There was a saber-toothed trout. That there was. 6.5 feet long.
Wow. Shut the front door.
Yes. But there's no such thing as a saber-toothed tiger, and there never has been. What is this noise? Yes.
Is it Winston Churchill taking a meeting?
That's his bath when they heard about the invasion.
Me nervous? No, I'm not nervous.
It is the noise of the small intestine cleaning itself in preparation for food. The noise is called The noise is called borborygmus.
What's it called?
It's your tummy rumbling. And it's one of the few physiological processes that we can hear with the naked ear.
Is that the one where, when you're with your wife and you don't know who's done the noise?
Yeah.
That's true, isn't it? If you're close to somebody and
Yeah.
someone's tummy rumble, it's impossible to work out whose.
Yeah.
You would think if it was inside you, you'd be able to work it out, right, Lee?
Yeah.
But you want to say that next time. I believe that was you, that borborygmus.
I mean, you can't read it, so I'm not going to be able to say it, am I?
Finally, I'll give you 100 points if you can pat your head while rubbing your stomach.
Pat
Anybody?
your head
And rub your stomach.
and rub his stomach.
Not there, not there.
I didn't do it, Sandy.
You didn't
not
do it.
your
Give it a go.
Look at you,
Richard.
teacher's pet. I didn't do it. Only because you couldn't reach. It's quite high up, isn't it?
Listen, currently I'm 1 point up on everybody.
Have you worked it out?
No, but if I don't do anything at all, I make up a point on everybody because you all did it wrong.
Why did they do it wrong, Richard?
Because the stomach was in the wrong place.
And where is it?
I don't know.
It's much higher up than most people realise. Switch around. It's just under your pecs, really. So it's not down here, it's up here. And did you know, this is the most extraordinary thing, the stomach lining blushes when you blush.
I don't think I can blush.
That'll be all that naked foundation you're wearing.
I tell you what, it's a challenge for us, though, isn't it? If you can't, I bet Lee could make you blush.
I like a challenge.
So to the scores. Well, Richard was exactly right. With a magnificent 1 point, this week's winner in first place, it's Richard. Second place, with a fantastic debut of -8, Lolly. In third place, -20, it's Lee.
Thank you. I'm happy with that.
With -35, it's Alan. My thanks to Lolly, Lee, Richard and Alan, and I leave you with this Neolithic newspaper nugget from The Sun. This woman walked very close to me, and it was obvious that underneath her clothing, she wore little or nothing. Good night.
Jumping Channel, Sandy Toksvig is one of Graham Norton's guests over on BBC One in 5 minutes, along with Carrie Fisher and Grayson Perry.